What if some monsters were never just myths? What if science quietly proved that a few of them might be real? Tonight we're breaking down 7 legendary monsters that could actually exist, and the craziest one is waiting at the end. Let's begin. The Kraken. The Kraken is the giant sea monster of Scandinavian legend. Sailors in Norway spoke of something massive pulling ships underwater. They described huge tentacles rising from black water. Entire crews vanished. For centuries, people laughed at these stories. But in 2004, scientists filmed a real giant squid alive in the wild for the first time. It can grow over 40 feet long, and that's not even the biggest one. The colossal squid is even heavier. So imagine this, a fishing ship in the 1600s, no sonar, no lights, just something huge grabbing the hull from below. But here's where it gets weird. We've explored less than 10% of the ocean. What else is still down there? Bigfoot. Bigfoot is North America's most famous forest giant. Thousands claim to have seen a tall, hairy figure walking upright. Huge footprints found in mud, strange howls at night. In 1967, the Patterson-Gimlin film shocked the world. It showed a large creature walking through a forest in California. Most say it was a hoax, but fossils prove something interesting. Early humans like Gigantopithecus once stood nearly 10 feet tall. They lived in Asia. They were real. Could a distant relative have survived somewhere remote? But the story doesn't end there. Remote forests still hide new species every year. The Loch Ness Monster. Nessie is said to live in Scotland's deepest lake. Sightings go back to 565 AD. A strange creature in the water, long neck, dark body. In 1934, the famous surgeon's photo spread worldwide. Many think it was fake, but here's the interesting part. The lake Loch Ness is over 700 feet deep, cold, dark, hard to explore fully. Some suggest it could be a large eel. Others once believed it might be like plesiosaur fossils found worldwide. But here's where it gets weird. Mass DNA scans of the lake found massive eel DNA. No monster proof, but no full explanation either. The chupacabra. The chupacabra comes from Latin American legend. Farm animals found drained of blood, small puncture wounds. In the 1990s, Puerto Rico reported mass sightings. Many bodies later tested were coyotes with severe mange. But here's the twist. Disease can drastically change an animal's appearance. A hairless, thin predator looks terrifying at night. And real predators do attack livestock in strange patterns. So was it a monster or misunderstood wildlife? The Mongolian death worm. This creature is said to live in the Gobi Desert, bright red, large, able to kill from a distance. Explorers in the 1920s recorded local warnings. The desert, Gobi Desert, is vast and extreme. Venomous creatures already exist there, like certain snakes that bury themselves in sand. Some scientists believe the legend could come from unknown burrowing reptiles. But the story doesn't end there. Even today, parts of the desert remain barely studied. Dragons appear in nearly every culture. Europe, China, the Middle East, flying reptiles, fire breathers, massive wings. But ancient people also discovered dinosaur bones without knowing what they were. Imagine finding the fossil of Tyrannosaurus rex, or the wingspan of Quetzalcoatlus. Would you call it a dragon? But here's where it gets weird. The Komodo dragon is real. Venomous bite, massive body, almost prehistoric in appearance. Sometimes myths grow from bones. The Megalodon, the craziest one. Megalodon was a real prehistoric shark. It grew up to 60 feet long. Officially, it went extinct millions of years ago. But here's the problem. The deep ocean is still mostly unexplored. And massive sharks like the great white shark can disappear into deep waters for long periods. Some deep-sea species were discovered only recently. Could a population survive in extreme depths? Most scientists say no, but the story doesn't end there. We once believed the giant squid was just a myth too. Maybe monsters aren't magic. Maybe they're memories, fragments of real animals, misunderstood sightings, or creatures we simply haven't found yet. Which one do you think could truly exist? Let me know below.